My name's Buster.
And my name's Boots.
And welcome back to the Beam AI Racing Series for Season 2.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that Season 1 began back in 2020. We're both getting older.
Yes, that was 3 years ago.
Yes, and we're far better commentators now. We've got lots of experience, and we're going to be doing an excellent job.
Well, maybe speak for yourself. I'm not sure, but I'll certainly do my best.
Yeah, well, I was relaxing in the Bahamas with my feet up, waiting for your phone call for when we were going to do Season 2.
I know, I'm sorry I kept you waiting for so long. Well, we're finally here, and we are getting ready to go. Do you want to give the viewers just a brief breakdown on how the races will work?
Yes, of course. So there will be 8 races, and we need one winner from each race, and all of the winners from races 1 till 8 will come together for a finale battle in race 9.
Exactly. Yes. So the qualifying has to be done before each race to determine the grid positions.
That's right. And then when the race is done and the grid is decided, that's when we'll begin. But if one car gets smashed up and eliminated and incapacitated, then that will be eliminated.
Yeah, that's true. But, however, if more than one car is smashed up and incapacitated, then we will have to do...
back to the original grid positions.
That's right. Thank you, Boots. Yes, so that's your line. And also, we'll hopefully hear you say...
she fell over.
But maybe, yeah, okay, calm down. We don't know yet. This is only the qualifying.
So that's a brief rundown, and we're super excited and ready to go.
Oh, yes. And this time, for Season 2, we actually have some drivers. And this is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to add a bit of a personal touch. And I just hope... I shall apologise now if we butcher the pronunciations of the names.
Well, I am a professional, and I won't be messing up any of the pronunciations.
All right, again, speak for yourself. Okay, so we're getting ready to go.
We are. So, this is Orgis with the Bruckell LeGran wagon, the Objectionable.
Yes, so we're getting ready to start. So, oh dear. Yeah, we got a bit too carried away, and we didn't get to make note of all of the stats.
Yes, a bit of a faux pas, but we'll keep going.
Yes, so I have some notes, though. Don't you worry, I have some notes.
Right. You did come prepared then, didn't you?
Well, I try. So the LeGran wagon is on its way to the starting line. So 170 foot-pounds of torque, 141 brake horsepower, and 9.7 second 0 to 60, and a 95 horsepower power to ton.
Yeah, you're an incompetent commentator.
All right, calm down. You're the one who's been relaxing for like 3 years in the Bahamas.
Yes, but I was working on the tan, and I was...
Okay, anyway, shut up, let's go. Right, so the LeGran is started. Now, lap 1, so we need to start... We're going to make note of all the times here, because we need to determine the grid positions.
We do, yeah. And I've got a lovely tan. I've been in the Bahamas for 3 years.
Oh, okay, I don't even know. What are we talking about?
I don't know, you're the one who started it.
Okay, all right, let's focus on the car at hand. Orgis is setting a time for lap 1.
Yes, sorry, we digress.
We did. Okay, nice jump there. So you'll notice this is a new track, isn't it?
Yeah, so we've been doing a lot of research, trying to find the best track for Season 2, and we've decided on the double cross.
Yes, the double cross. Exactly. That's what this track's called, the double cross.
And this track seemed to work quite well because the AI weren't getting stuck, were they? Well, mostly not getting stuck.
True, yeah. So you'll notice that the AI, they're not using the banked corners. And the reason for that was because the banked corners have a different set of track nodes. And if we use the banked corners, if the AI kind of got a bit damaged, they would get stuck. Whereas with the flat roads...
Alright, stop waffling. You're making this really boring.
Okay, sorry, yes, okay. But so anyway, so we found a track that worked. Oh yeah, first lap. 1 minute, 12 seconds and 58 milliseconds.
Yes, very well done.
Thank you. So anyway, so we have no idea what to expect because it's a totally new track and it's just a case of getting used to it as we go. We're going to see who will set the best time and then we will have the record where we'll make a note and see who can beat it.
Okay, you're waffling now.
Yes, I know. So as we said, there are 8 races and each race will be a different class.
Yes, this is the Derby class, and so we'll have a different class each race.
We will, and in race 9 we will have the winners from each class pitted together like we did for season 1.
Yes. So, the wagon is still running. Oh, and there's the Tree of Wisdom. The Tree of Wisdom, we shall consult the Tree of Wisdom whenever we get stuck.
We will. The Tree of Wisdom. Okay, anyway, so the wagon is just going to cross the line for its second lap. 1 minute, 5 second, 32. Now, that is a really good time.
Well, actually, we don't know yet, do we? Because we haven't got anything to compare it to.
No, we don't. So the Objectionable, or just set a time of 1 minute 5 and something.
Oh, yes, you're failing again with your commentary.
All right, well, you can always help.
I don't remember the number.
Well, then we shall agree to just move on. Okay, so a 1 minute 5 second.
Okay, the next car is the Pessima Mark II. Dancehall Gamers driving this one, 188 foot-pounds of torque, 187 brake horsepower, and a 0 to 60 in 7.6 seconds.
Getting started.
Yes, and I do think that this nice rolling burnout there from Dancehall Gamer in the Pessima Mark II.
Yeah, and I do believe this car has the fastest 0 to 60 time, I believe, of the pack. Yes, but that doesn't mean anything, does it? Because anything can happen. That's one thing that we've learned, is expect the unexpected.
Yeah, but if we expect the unexpected, then it's not expected anymore because we're expecting it.
Yes. Well, then, whatever. Let's keep this. Let's move it on. Oh, a reverse donut.
Yes. Can you please get your words straight? You're letting the team down with your crap commentary.
All right. Oh dear. Okay. Yes, I am getting flashbacks of season 1 now. But yeah. So the Pessima Mark 1 is reverse donut because it's front wheel drive. Getting set to go for lap 1. And here we go. The suspense is killing me. Let's see what the Pessima Mark 2. Did I say Mark 1 earlier? I may well have, but never mind. It's a Mark 2. Good. So.
Pessima Mark II has 146 brake horsepower per ton.
Yeah, and this car, as we said, I think has the fastest 0 to 60 time of the pack, because it's got that combination of a nice powerful engine, but it's quite light as well.
Yes, so physics will do it a favour, whatever that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either. So we need to set, the Pessima Mark II is going to try and set, hopefully it will set a good time. Let's see, because the wagon at the moment, we only have really 2 times to go with, and that was the LeGran wagon's first and second lap. The second lap, the wagon did a good time, 1 minute 05. So it's time to see whether the Pessima Mark II with its extra, well, not power, but it's better 0 to 60 time. Let's see if that is going to help.
Yeah, but the problem is we've seen nice jump there. But sometimes we find that when the vehicles are driving, when they 1 minute. Whoa, look at the jump!
Look at the jump! That was 1 minute 6 seconds. We've got a replay here now. Just the Pessima Mark II just launches itself.
And that's interesting because the engine's at the front, but somehow the front is up in the air. So as it lands nice and sweet, nice sweet landing hit by the Pessima Mark II, driven by Dancehall Gamer.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see now. Will the better 0 to 60 time help, or will it hinder it? Oh, another nice jump. Oh, the bouncing. That's the problem when these cars have a good 0 to 60 time, good acceleration, or good top end. Sometimes it goes against the car because sometimes they lose control over the jumps.
Yeah, it's anyone's guess. Anything can happen. Oh no, he's losing control.
Oh no. Okay, so the Pessima Mark II, the first car to spin out. Well, there's only been 2 cars. Yeah.
Dancehall Gamers just spun out. Got to get back going again. And as far as we know, I think that first time set of 1 minute 6 isn't too bad. I mean, it's currently in second place. So we need to figure out the grid positions, which is what the qualifying is all about. And currently, what I was just going to see if there's another big jump. The Pessima Mark II currently has second position.
So 1 minute 12 for the second lap, because unfortunately the car, we had a bit of a spin out there the second lap, so that's affected it. That's had to pay the price with a slower time.
So currently we have the LeGran wagon has with a 1 minute 5 and the Pessima Mark II with a 1 minute 6.
Okay, next is a BeamNG with the Gavril H series. So this is 288 foot-pounds of torque, which I think is the vehicle that has the most foot-pounds of torque of the pack.
Yes, and so this is now time for a BeamNG to show us what he can do in the van.
Yes, the van. The Gavril H Series. So, 207 brake horsepower.
0 to 60 this time. Well, there's plenty of power and plenty of torque to get a nice donut going, because this, of course, is rear-wheel drive.
Yes, and has a 0 to 60 of 9.7 seconds. But you'll see it's got quite a nice lot of travel on the suspension, nice off-road tyres, so that might help for the off-road sections.
Yeah, so this track is split between dirt and tarmac, so it would be interesting to see how these vehicles deal with the transitions from tarmac to dirt and then back again, plus, of course, with the jumps involved as well.
Yep, okay, so the Gavril H Series is getting ready to kick off, and this is the heaviest, I think, car of the pack, with 2,265 kilos.
Yeah, this is quite a heavy one, and it has, of course, that big V8 at the front there as well. 91 horsepower per tonne.
Well, yep, that always gets me that like little bit of suspense between the second to last and the last light of the gantry.
Good, lap one. As we're going, the nice start by the H Series. There's a lot of travel in those tyres. Okay, so almost it does lean quite a lot because it's got a high centre of gravity, so I don't know how that's going to affect it.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of travel in that suspension. You can see how the H Series really going for it. Oblique MD's really going for it around the bends, and there's a nice bit of leaning. Or bouncing like a kangaroo.
Oblique MD is bouncing like a kangaroo. Yes. And doing his best there with all that travel in the suspension. But I think kind of you need that travel for these jumps.
Yeah, whoops. Because if the suspension is too tight, like if you remember from season 1, the Covet had a lot of trouble with its tight suspension. It would bounce all over the place.
Oh yeah, and the Kashira, my arch nemesis, the rolling Kashira, which was useless and rolled all the time.
Well, I think probably, what was your favourite? What was your favourite race from season 1?
Well, I would say it probably has to be the drag-tuned, because they're all the American monster muscle cars.
Yeah, but there were a couple of Japanese ones there, weren't they?
Oh yeah, it was the Kashira, which was useless.
Oh dear, you and that Kashira, you just won't get over it, will you? So anyway, so lap 1 has been set by the H Series. So Oblique MD, it's bouncing again all over the place, but set a 1 minute 12.
Oh, losing a bit of control there.
And so that currently puts the H Series in 3rd place, judging by the times. Nice jump
by the H Series again.
Sliding a little bit, Oh, nice little shot there of the pit stop.
Yeah, well, all the cars are waiting their turn to set a time to determine the grid positions.
Yes, because next, after the qualifying, we'll be having the main race, and this will be all 8 vehicles, all on the track at the same time. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, I can't imagine. I'm sure it will go without a hitch, without a problem.
1 minute 07. So that's not a bad time by the H Series, and that means I think that puts it into 3rd position. I think. I mean, it's not a bad time. We don't know yet. We're getting a feel for the times.
Whoa! Oh no, Oblique MD, what are you doing? He's just rolled.
Oh, okay, lovely. So the H Series has rolled when it wasn't even racing.
Well, they don't call this car the Disastrous for nothing.
Well, apparently not, no, because he had one simple job, and that was to go to the pit stop and somehow manage to roll and cause a lot of distraction.
Well, I'm sure that's not much distraction. I'm sure race 1 after the qualifying will have the most amounts of destruction, I'm sure.
Okay, so Abdul's back, and with the 200BX, 140 foot-pounds of torque, 151 brake horsepower, 8.8 0 to 60, which I think that puts the 200BX and Abdul at the 2nd fastest 0 to 60.
Yeah, because this little hairdryer, it's only, 1,000 kilos, 1,100 kilos, and I think it's got it's like a 2-cylinder 500cc.
Oh, don't be silly. I'm pretty sure it's a 2-litre straight 4. So I don't know.
No, actually, no. I think it has a hairdryer engine. Actually, I think is what this has.
Oh, don't be silly. You and your vendetta against any car that's Japanese, you just always have trouble with those, don't you?
Well, they're pretty. I mean, I could barely dry my hair with it, so I don't really, I don't know how well it's going to do. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, yeah. What this car lacks with power, there we go. That always gets me, that bit, that pause before the final go light. But yeah, because this car's quite light though. It has, I think, as we said, the second fastest 0 to 60 time.
Yeah, but it's very light, so I don't know what trouble that's going to cause the BX over the jumps. Because it's so light, I don't know, perhaps with the heavier vehicles might do better over the jumps, because they might not fly up so high. But then with being heavier, they might slam down harder and cause them self-damage.
Yeah, one of the problems we have noticed with a lot of these vehicles going over one of those jumps is damaging their oil pan and then leaking oil.
Yeah, but you need oil, you need to be lubed.
Oh, okay, you paint a horrible picture, but yeah. So the problem we've seen with a lot of these vehicles is they have been damaging their oil pan, which means that they were leaking oil.
Yeah, but then there are only 2 laps, so it's not too bad. They've got enough time to be repaired for the main race.
Okay, so Abdul's going around here in the first lap. Another jump here, flying beautifully. Nicely done. Yeah, so no problem so far. We've got first lap, 1 minute 17.
Whoa, look at that!
Flying in the green machine and a beautiful landing. Abdul sticks a landing in the 200 BX, looking good.
All right, yeah, I will give him that. I will give the hairdryer engine is working all right at the moment. I will give him that. He jumped. It was a good jump, nicely controlled.
Well, look at you giving compliments. That's quite rare.
Well, so we just lose a bit of control there. Oh no. Okay, how are we getting on here? Okay, so lap 2. So this might affect. This is going to affect Abdul's times now in lap 2. Since there was a bit of difficulty sticking that landing then, so I was...
Usually, as we know, the second lap is obviously quicker because it's a rolling lap as they roll over from the first lap. Oh no, he's going to spin out again!
Oh, Abdul's done a dancehall gamer. He spun out on that bit.
Well, it might be a problem with the transition from the dirt to the tarmac. I mean, as you're sliding on the dirt to then suddenly getting grip on the tarmac, it's going to be difficult to control the car because you're going from the 2 different types of surfaces.
Surfaces? What do you mean surfaces?
I meant surfaces. Surfaces. Oh, look at the jump. Nicely controlled there.
Well, yeah. Oh, 1 minute 16:67. Okay, so that puts Abdul in the 200BX, currently in 4th place. But it's something that we've learned, as we said before, is we never know what's going to happen and we do expect the unexpected.
Good. So the Soliad Wendover, the Unpunctual, driven by Elias.
Yes, I do hope you're pronouncing that correct.
I do too. I hope I am. So Elias in the Soliad Wendover, the Unpunctual.
Oh dear, how much have you been drinking?
Haven't drunk anything. All right, I've done my stretches. I'm just warming up. It's been a while since we've done any commentating, so I'm doing my best.
Oh, another kangaroo. Elias is jumping around like a kangaroo in the Wendover.
Yes, so this is front-wheel drive muscle car.
Wait, what? How can you have a front-wheel drive muscle car?
Well, okay, maybe it's not necessarily a muscle car. I mean, what did we do? 170 foot-pounds of torque and 141 brake horsepower in the Wendover. And a 0 to 60 of 10 seconds, and it's only 1,535 kilos.
Well, then it's not a muscle car, is it?
All right. So I managed to trigger you.
Yeah, of course you triggered me. You always trigger me.
Oh, can we just be friends? Like, because we haven't done any commentating for 3 years, and I thought perhaps the break would have done us some good.
Yeah, well, you're still annoying me with the crappy taste that you have in cars.
Oh dear. Anyway, oh dear, what are we talking about? Let's carry on. Let's keep going. So yes, 92 horsepower per ton. The unpunctual Wendover has 92 horsepower per ton.
Yes. Try to keep focused on what's going on here, because I seem to be losing you a little bit here. Because sometimes I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about either. So, touche.
Touche. Who says touche?
Well, I don't know. I just did, but I don't. Anyway, so the Unpunctual's doing all right to the end of lap 1. What do we get? A 1 minute 11. Okay.
Whoa! Look at the jump. Beautiful jump. I think that's like the Mark II Pessima did a jump similar to that, with the front end up high in the sky.
Which is unusual because you'd imagine all the weight in the front that would bring the front down quicker, but it was a beautiful jump nonetheless.
Okay, so the Wendover done set a 1 minute 11 for a first lap. Now, I think as far as first laps go, I think that's among the best times for the first lap. So now, if the Wendover can hold it down and keep everything under control after setting a good first lap, maybe the second lap, maybe Edis in the Wendover can do an even better time.
Yeah, well, only time will tell. We'll have to see past the Tree of Wisdom.
Yes, the Tree of Wisdom is there again. We all look to the Tree of Wisdom for wisdom and for guidance along the way.
Yes, the Wendover is crossing for the second and final lap.
Wow! 1 minute 4. Sorry, I did shout. I didn't mean to.
That's all right. We're in the broom cupboard. Boots and I are sitting in the broom cupboard doing our commentary.
Because we couldn't afford a studio.
The Wendover, I think, then set the best time. It now put the Wendover in first position.
Good. Okay, so next is the Ibishu Pessima Mark I, the Pessimistic, driven by Tobias.
Oh, like front-wheel drive burnout then. Tobias showing us how it's done. Now a rear donut, rear-wheel drive.
No, you mean front-wheel drive, but a rear donut, I think is what you mean. Wait, yeah, so front-wheel drive, but it's yeah, okay. Technical terms, of course, everybody.
Yes, very technical. So Tobias driving the Mark I Pessima, the Pessimistic, and has a 0 to 60 of 10.5 seconds.
Yeah, so now that's one of the slower 0 to 60 times, but something that we've seen a lot is, the fastest cars don't necessarily do best, because then they've got to contend with all sorts of trouble, perhaps speeding over the jumps, and the risk of losing control.
Yeah, that's right. So I'd be interested to see. We don't know how any of these cars are going to do. So we're kicking off for lap 1 to buy it in the Mark I Pessima. So, so 1,250 kilos the Pessima has, and a 106 brake horsepower per ton. And so that puts it a bit behind the 200BX, you see, because it's about 100 kilos heavier than the BX.
And it still has a hairdryer engine.
It's hairdryer. So it's probably like a 2-litre straight 4 again, but I think because it's heavier, it's got that extra weight. So I don't know how well it's going to do.
Well, yeah, the 200BX had an 8.8 second 0 to 60. So whilst it was a similar power, it had less weight to carry.
Yeah, so it had less weight to carry than the Pessima, so that means it was a bit quicker. But one thing we've learned is it's not necessarily the fastest cars, as we were saying, that do best.
Well, I suppose anything can happen with these vehicles. Like if they're going too fast, they've got the risk of just losing control on those jumps.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, but so far the Mark I Pessima driven by Tobias doing pretty well. Okay, a 1 minute 11.12, which is up there with one of the best lap 1 times.
Yeah, and as we were saying though, with a good lap 1, providing that Tobias doesn't have any trouble in the Mark I Pessima and manages to keep the foot down and the speed up, should be on track for a good lap 2 time.
Yes, and only time will tell. So that transition off from the tarmac onto the dirt can often cause some trouble. As we've seen, a few of the other vehicles, as they're going down off of one of these jump, perhaps, sliding off of that jump downhill on the dirt, and then connecting with that tarmac, as we've seen, has caused a lot of cars some trouble.
Yeah, but not to buy in the Mark I Pessima is keeping it controlled down and the power down, and doing really well so far. So another jump here.
Nice and tidy jump by Tobias there, and managing to hold that power down, crossing the line for lap 2. Oh wow, another good time, 1 minute 5.09. So that's definitely putting it towards the front of the pack.
So that's going to be good for to buy when we do the race, because it looks like the Pessima is going to be towards the front of the pack.
Right. Now we got another Yank Tank.
Yes, so it's Jay Rintle in the Gavril Roma, the Horrendous. Yes, and so this is a bit of a beast. You could just hear that. Listen to the V8 rumble, and Jay Rintle's going to show us how it's done now in the Gavril Roma with the V8.
Yes. Now I would be quite scared if I saw that coming up in my rearview mirror.
As you should, because it will just drive over one of your little Japanese racers.
Well, time will tell. We'll have to see. So we have to see what sort of time Jay Rintle sets in the Gavril Roma.
Yeah, how dare you? You better not forget the name of this, because this is going to do well. You know, this is going to be near the front of the pack, and it's going to be driving over all of the hairdryer engined little cars.
All right, you and your getting passionate as usual. What, have you been off for 3 years, and now you've come back super passionate?
Oh, I'm always passionate.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. You could say that. Getting set up then for the Roma to start. So the Roma has 288 foot-pounds of torque, 204 brake horsepower, and a 0 to 60 of 9 seconds.
Yep, you see, so Jay Rintle also has not only the power, but he's got the 0 to 60. I mean, the 9-second 0 to 60 is one of the better times of the pack. But he also has the weight, 2,140 kilos, and a 97 power per ton.
Wow, look at the jump. Oh no, the back is sliding, bit of drifting there. Manages to regain control on that dirt. So this is going to be interesting to see, because this car has the same power per ton similar to the Wendover and the H series. So yeah, so it'd be interesting to see how it does. Sliding there,
because it looks like the Roma has off-road tyres, so it looks like he's sliding a little bit on the tarmac. Past the Tree of Wisdom.
Yes, the Tree of Wisdom. Now we've got another jump here, so the Roma is just taking those jumps into his stride, no problem at all. Crossing the line for the first lap, 1 minute 13. Wow, look at the jump. Lands beautifully.
Yeah, that was a beautiful landing. So, now for lap 2, and a 1 minute was at 13, so it's going to be interesting to see what time the Roma manages to set in lap 2.
Yes, because I think that's what counts. Usually lap 2 is the fastest of the 2 laps. Nice jump there. Fighting to keep control. That big heavy vehicle.
Jay Rintle's trying to keep this thing under control and in check, and so far doing pretty well. Now, nice little jump there. Oh, that was a bit of a hard hit there on the middle of the jump. Round this final bend, past the Tree of Wisdom, and it's going to be time to see what time the Roma sets.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I can't wait. Oh, there's a Tree of Wisdom. I can't wait to see the race. The main race is going to be done as soon as we have the grid positions decided.
I know, I can't wait either. Okay, in the lap 1 minute 6. Now, that isn't too bad, considering that the Roma's carrying a lot of extra weight, and still a 1 minute 6. So that does put it towards the front, I think, of the pack. So this is going to be very interesting. Ahaha! Exo Ace is coming up next in the Marshal.
Yes, and this actually has, I think, one of the best 0 to 60 times, 7.8 seconds.
No one is going to be able to escape Exo Ace in the Grand Marshal.
No, and I would also be pretty terrified if I saw that coming in my rearview mirror. Look at the sliding. Getting ready to go. Look at this thing. This is an absolute beast.
Yes, so the Grand Marshal has 288 foot-pounds of torque, 207 horsepower, as we said, a 7.8 0 to 60, and the weight is still quite heavy, but I mean, it's not as heavy as the H series or the Roma, 1,640 kilos.
But the party piece here is 126 brake horsepower per ton, which means that it's, I think, the car with the best horsepower per ton in the pack.
Yeah, and that would explain the 0 to 60 as well, because this is one of the most powerful cars here. Well, I think it is the most powerful car here, sorry. And because it's not the heaviest, it's got a nice power to weight ratio. And also lowish center of gravity.
But it also has a nice set of travel, of suspension travel, which is going to help deal with the off-road sections.
Yeah, well, look at that. Oh, look at it go. Look at the Marshal go. Exo Ace is going to show us how it's done in the Marshal, and I think we're going to be seeing the best lap time here of the whole pack.
Oh no, but you see, as we said before, when a car has the power, it's hard to keep the power down on the jumps, and if you are using all that power, you've got the risk of flying into orbit or losing control.
Oh, the Tree of Wisdom!
Yes, the Tree of Wisdom was passed again. But yeah, with that extra power, you see, you've got that risk of just going too high on the jumps and having all sorts of trouble.
Okay, 1 minute 7:97. What? Look at the jump. Can we get a replay?
That was a massive jump. Okay, so XOX flies up in the Marshal, and this time the front right-hand side, just smashes down onto the ground. That's probably going to cause all sorts of damage to the chassis and perhaps the steering and all sorts.
Yeah, that was quite unfortunate. As we saw, some of the other cars were jumping, and the front end was high in the sky.
Oh dear, what's going on? Are we going to have the first roll? Oh, we've got the first roll in the actual qualifying. Okay, so the front right-hand side was damaged from before, which is probably causing trouble with the chassis, the steering.
Yes, and as he's bounced up and he's just lost control and gone inside and rolled over.
So yeah, that was quite an unfortunate accident there. Probably that damage from earlier on was probably added to that.
She fell over.
Yes, certainly did. And so this is the first, although the H series rolled, but that was that was into the paddock.
Oh, we have Derrick 2.0.
Listen to the supercharger. Yes, so Derrick is back. Derrick 2.0. This time he's got a tow truck instead of the ambulance.
Look at it go, that is a beast. Keep back, it says. Yep, Derrick is coming here to help out Axo Ace.
Oh dear, I do hope he does his job professionally.
Well, I would imagine he's learnt from before, and I think we can trust him. He's going to be delicate and professional, and he will do his best to minimise any damage.
Yeah, he is a qualified professional, isn't he? We did tell him he had to get qualified in those 3 years. So he's going to be delicate. Oh, lovely. Yes. So I'm assuming then that Derrick hasn't changed at all.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think Derrick has changed. Okay, so Derrick is delicately hooking onto the back of the Marshal. Oh my goodness. We can't trust Derrick with anything, can we? And I was hoping he would have got better over these 3 years, but he's still the same.
Yeah, he's doing his part. He's towing the Marshal back to the paddock and safely back to the paddock.
And Derrick has all that power. That's like a 7-litre odd, I think, supercharger. That's got all the power to...
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. We apologise. Do we have to... Yeah, I think we're going to get complaints from XO8 because Derrick is supposed to be looking after XO8's car. He's ruined it. Oh, dear. Okay, so all of the vehicles have gone, and we have the pack, the grid for the race.
So the Soliad Wendover had a time of 1 minute 4:45 by Elias. Sir, you have the pole position.
In second position is the Ibishu Pessima Mark 1, the Pessimistic. Tobiah, you, my friend, have second on the grid.
And in third position, the Bruckell LeGran wagon, the Objectionable by August. 1 minute 5. Oh dear, what is going on? We can't take these people anywhere. What are they doing?
Oh, everyone calm down. We're reading out the grid positions. Okay, so in fourth, we have the Gavril Roma, the Horrendous by J Rintoul, with a 1 minute 6:31.
Fifth position is the Ibishu Pessima Mark II, the Unpalatable by Dancehall Gamer. My friend, you've got number 5 with a 1 minute 6:44. Well, what are these people doing? Calm down, everyone. Calm down, everyone. Please calm down.
So 6, Gavril H Series, the Disastrous by Oblique MD with a 1 minute 7:71.
7th position is the Gavril Grand Marshal, the Miserable, by XOAce. Even though XOAce only had 1 lap, because he rolled on the 2nd lap, he got a nice enough time to put him in, 1 from the last position.
Yes, and in 8th position, the Ibishu 200BX and Malodorous by Abdul Abdul name 96. 1 minute 15, sir. Unfortunately, you have the last position, but that doesn't mean anything. Once we get going, anything can happen, and we've definitely seen where the car at the back of the pack has come forward and done really well on the race. So we shall see.
What is wrong with these people? Calm down.
Yeah, everyone's driving like crazy. Oh dear. This is just a sign of what might be happening for the main race that will be happening next. So make sure you tune in for the race. We've done the qualifying, so it's going to be time to do the actual race.
Yes. Oh dear. Yes, so with that said, we can't wait to see you on the race now that we have decided the grid positions.
We'll see you in the next one.